welcome to So Much More, a women's health and wellbeing program produced with the assistance of the Community Broadcasting Foundation. Today we are going to be talking about the concept of the village, making your own village, the family is the village, that sort of thing. And in the studio with me to talk about her life and how she has created her own village, I have Jamie Lea. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
So, Jamie, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my first name's Jamie and my last name's Lee. And yes, I'm married, but I never changed my name because why? I don't mind if other people do it, but I had absolutely no need or inkling because I am Jamie Lea.
Yep.
And I'm not essentially being married to my husband changes absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I'm Jamie Lea. He's Alan Mitchell. Dempsey's Dempsey Mitchell. And we are the Mitchell. We call ourselves the Mitchells, but I never changed my name.
So in the studio with us as well as Jamie Lea, we've also got Dempsey, who's 2. We've got Elsie, who's 18 months old. We've got Cassidy, who's about 20 months old. And we also have Joy, who's 14 years old. So she's watching the little ones. So this is just to show that you can be a very active mother as well as doing amazing things like Jamie Lea does. Jamie, where did you grow up?
That's a fantastic question. I won't go into the long version. I was born in Shep, and then I think maybe like 3 or 4. My parents went into some financial problems and we moved to Numurkah, Nathalia, Tokemal, Katandra, Katunga, Tungama, Baruga, everywhere. But I ended up living in Cobram for a little while, and once I got expelled from Cobram High School, I went to Shepparton High School where my life completely changed.
How did it change?
I guess once I came to Shepparton High School and I met the most incredible teachers ever, the angels I call them, everything changed because they kind of noticed what was up and started asking the questions that were really important, like why do you throw chairs, or why do you want to wag, or why are you stealing from other people's bags and things like that. And asking me why rather than punishing me, I think made all the difference. And I talk about it now the way I talk about it because I have some perspective, I have some life experience, and now that I'm a little bit older, I fully understand. I get it. Like being an adult and having your own children and then seeing somebody else in crisis or in need and then trying to help them and giving them that option and then them actually taking the help is where everything changes.
Getting sort of teary-eyed, just the switch of hope in someone's eyes, But
also it's very much about them taking the help.
Yeah. What events are you involved in Shepparton?
Wow. Okay. So currently I help out with a whole bunch of things. I'm the Numurkah Food Bowl Festival event coordinator. I organise the winter sessions at the Vault. I organise the Secret Garden gigs, which is a tour around the Goulburn Valley in people's backyards. What am I working on right now? I'm involved in the Dookie Food and Fibre Day. I'm involved in Careers Day Out. That's one of my jobs. I'm involved in the Youth Haven, which isn't really an event, but it's something that I do with young people, and we will be running events. I'm involved in Converge Festival, St George's Road Food Festival. So many. Nearly anything and everything public that is about community and has music with it, I'll probably be a part of it in some way.
So the Gathering as well? Did you list the Gathering?
Of course. Yes, I didn't list the Gathering. No.
How did you actually get involved with all of those events? What sort of triggered that?
Yeah, that's a great question because I owe a lot to the youth organisation called Word of Mouth, which Jim Gow currently runs, coordinates, is kind of the head honcho for. But back in the day, it was a lady called Kate Emerson, and I'd completely idolised her. I thought she was the most amazing thing since sliced bread. And she kind of, I guess, saw something in me and gave me those options and gave me those experiences and said, without saying it, I believe in you and I know you can do this, so just do it. And I remember the first time she ever gave me a headset and let me stage manage, I was completely out of my depth. I was so nervous. I felt sick. And it's not until I'm a bit older that I understand what anxiety is, but I couldn't sleep for days. I was so scared about letting her down. And I did it. It wasn't fantastic. It was my first time, but I did it. And I remember her being like, righto, you've done that now. Next one. And with that kind of, I guess, those fireworks, that spark, that's kind of how the fire started. So I think I was 15 or 16. And I think it was the same year I left home. And I didn't understand volunteering. My parents weren't people that were a part of the community. I never really understood about giving back and, give a little but take a little and give a little and take a little. And Word of Mouth, completely gave me the chance and gave me that confidence. And, a little family, like a youth committee that all helped each other. And we're all young people that loved music and we all just wanted to do more gigs. And so that selfishness of wanting to sing made me join Word of Mouth. And from Word of Mouth, I realised, I don't just have to sing, I can put on the gigs. And for a long time there, I forgot what made me happy and I didn't actually sing. I just did the gigs, organised everything, did the marketing, did the promo and the coordination. And now I'm just getting back into actually singing just as much as I organise gigs.
That is fantastic. I was going to ask who your role models are Do you have any others apart from, was it Kate Emerson?
Yeah, I do. I guess not having a fantastic mother. I left home the day after my 15th birthday, so I've always had like adopted mums, and people take that so literally, you know, like they're just, oh, you were adopted. No, I wasn't adopted. I just call them my adopted mums because what else can you call them? I don't want to call them my mentors or my role models or my, you know,
aunties.
Even aunties, that would give my mother some kind of respect that she was related to somebody fantastic. But that's not the case. I don't know my aunties or uncles or cousins or anything like that. I'm totally making assumptions now. I don't even know if I have uncles, but I mean, having blood family is not what I'm about for sure. I'm very, very much about making my own family and making my own village, which I'm just so grateful that we have in Shepparton. And it's, you know, it's a bit disjointed. It's a bit unusual, the village that we live in, but it suits me, you know. And the role models that I have are just some amazing women. And I've probably got like 2 adopted dads. And it's really funny. My biological father died just before Christmas, and that was pretty shattering. But, you know, I rang up my adopted dad. I call him Father Figure. And I was like, oh, hey, Father Figure, you know, what are you doing for Christmas? And he's like, yeah, come over. So I went over, and as soon as I got there, I just wanted to get it out of the way. And I said, Father Figure, I just wanted you to know that biological father died. And he went, okay, are you all right? And I went, yeah, I'm okay. I'll be better. And he went, all right. And that was it. Like, such a typical male and such a typical father. And I'm so grateful. Like, I know that things would be completely different if I'd made wrong choices, and completely different if I hadn't have been offered that help. But I think the difference is that people keep trying. And I think in this day and age, unfortunately, I don't know why, but we seem to give up so much quicker. You know, we offer the help once or twice, and then, oh, no, if they didn't take it the first time, well, they don't deserve it at all. And that attitude completely sucks because, you know, I've let down people terribly. I have made shocking choices. God knows why. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. And, you know, like 16 and throwing a party at my friend's house while she was away and having half her shit stolen because I invited really dumb people. Like, do you know what I mean? And you just, and they don't give up on you. They forgive you, and they teach you forgiveness, and they teach you understanding, and I was punished, like, woof. You know, I was punished, but I also felt guilt and remorse and, oh, so much guilt. But I think giving up on somebody, or, you know, just stop talking to them or stop being a part of their life, that's nearly like less effective, because being a part of my life, like this, you know, I said friend, but I call her my adopted sister, and I was nannying for her and she went away for the weekend, and so I had a party at her house, and I didn't realise, you know, at 16 how bad it could have gone. And it wasn't that bad really, but there was a couple of people there who stole some stuff, and it sucked. And, you know, I still had to be in her life. Like, she had still to be in my life. And so every Christmas, every birthday, anytime anything bad happened, she'd be like, well, at least you haven't thrown a party and destroyed my house.
Oh my gosh.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's just about keeping that village, you know. I think that makes a big difference.
Just speaking about forgiveness and understanding of things, do you have any understanding for where your mother was and why she behaved the manner that she did? And do you have any sort of forgiveness towards her at all?
Yeah, of course. Yep. I get it. I understand mental illness, and I understand people make mistakes or they're upset or any of those things. And I understand that my mother, you know, made some bad choices and she didn't know how to fix them. And even my father, I understand that he had not a very nice life. And I guess together, they both had a terrible life, and they were comfortable with that. And they understood that. And I think you have to remember, when it comes to like generational poverty, you might be like a regular human from a regular family with a regular life, and you might look at somebody a bit down and out and go, oh, they should just change it. They should just fix it. And it's near impossible when you are in that generational cycle of poverty, which I was in. And I'm 28, and I still find it difficult every single day to be a functioning human, to get up and go to work, to look after my child and my friends' children, to pay my bills on time, to make sure my car's registered. And, you know, you might sit there and go, well, that's really easy. Well, no, it's not, because a lot of my life was spent living in caravan parks or sleeping in the car, or, you know, my parents getting kicked out of different houses. And that's what I learned. And you don't realise it, but that's what you're learning. You're learning to gamble. You're learning to chain smoke. You're learning to drink. You're learning to grow marijuana. That's the way you survive, you know. You're learning what you think's the right way. You're learning what you think is the only way, but that's completely wrong. It's not the right way or the only way. But unless you've been shown a difference, How are you meant to know? I didn't know.
Exactly.
And so I completely understand why they are the way they are, why they were the way they were, and it then gives you a bit of perspective on yourself, because some traits I have I see in my parents, and some things I really have to work on. My anger, my hatred, and my resentment, and things like that. Like really negative stuff that is quite hard to change in your brain makeup. And, you know, even racism and homophobia. My parents extremely racist, and they might not even know they are. I'm sure they don't even understand what racism is, but I grew up my whole life thinking, or to the age of 15, that tea towel heads was a normal thing to say to people. I remember living in Cobram and living in the Bronx of Cobram, and my parents saying something about tea towel heads like over and over and over again. And I hated it. I knew they were people, and I knew they had different names, but I didn't know. I was never educated. And then moving to Shep High and saying terrible things like that, and the looks I used to get from people. And I remember, you know, my oldest friend, she's still my best friend. She was a maid of honour in my wedding. Even then, just being like, you can't say that, you know, don't say that. And even like, you know, even saying things about gay people, and, you know, that forgiveness from people around me, for starters, to give me the opportunity to relearn. And now, you know, I would like to think I'm an advocate for newly arrived refugees and the LGBTI community, but also just for humans. I don't really care what you are or who you are, or, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, it doesn't really bother me. But, you know, it's 14 years this year since leaving home, if you can say that. And that's nearly half my life now. I've nearly spent half in, half out, and I'm still practicing forgiveness, and I'm still practicing acceptance of myself and other people.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back after this.